In the latest mainline update, DE introduced a very rare mechanic to Warframe, a pity system. This means that when farming for Tenet and Kuva weaponry, there are hard limits on how bad your luck can get, preventing seemingly endless grinds and ensuring that every step gives you at least some kind of progress. Let's look at exactly how this new system works and see just how big of an impact it really has. I'm Nick Engineer, let's solve a practical problem. Let's do a quick recap on how the Kuva and Tenet weapon assignment system works. Previously, for Kuva weapons, you would do an eligible Grineer mission, causing a Larveling to spawn. You'd check what weapon they had for you, and 18 out of 19 times, you'd be disappointed. Abort mission, retry, hope your luck is better the next time. Or the next. Or the next. Now, when you down a Larveling but do not turn them into a Lich, the weapon they rolled will be removed from the pool of options once you complete the mission. The first Larveling could be any of 19 Kuva weapons, the next any of 18, then 17, and so on. Either you find the weapon you are looking for, or you go through all 19 weapons and the whole thing resets. That reset also reshuffles the pool of weapons, so they most likely won't show up in the same order as the first go around. If at any point you accept the weapon by turning the Larveling into a Lich, the system then also resets. Once you defeat that Lich, the next Larveling could have any of the 19 Kuva weapons. A similar process exists for the Tenet weapons. You complete the top tier Grand Void to any reward level to cause a sister candidate to spawn shortly afterwards. Previously, the weapon she'd offer was random within the 8 possibilities, but now the pool shrinks with each rejection until either you mercy kill one to start the Sister of Parvus journey, or all the weapons rejected and the pool is reset. This removal of rejected weapons from the pool is what is called a pity system, otherwise known as bad luck prevention. It places a limit on just how bad things can actually get. Do take note that in both cases, you cannot abort the mission to use this pity system. So with that in mind as to how the system works compared to before, let's see how much of a difference it actually makes to farming. I've calculated the probabilities of getting a desired weapon in the different scenarios that can occur under the old and new systems. Starting with the old, we get this lovely graph for Kuva weapons. This blue line is the old system of downing Larvelings. What it shows is that around half of everyone would find the weapon they're looking for in up to 13 runs. 3/4 of everyone within around 26 runs, and 90% of everyone will get what they're looking for within about 43 runs. That means after 43 runs, 10% of everyone looking for a specific weapon is still coming up completely dry, and that's with only 19 options in the first place. Anyone who has struggled with getting a rare item from relics will know this pain just as much. In fact, even at the tail end of this graph, with 100 Larvelings downed, just under 1 in 200 players would still not have found their desired weapon. Repeat this for however many times over you need to farm specific weapons to valence them up to 60%, and that's a lot of potentially burned out players. So now, let's bring in the new system shown by this red line. At the lucky end of the graph, we see very little change from before, and that's fine. However, once we get to the average luck on that 50% mark, we already see a notable difference. Under the new system, the average player has gone down from needing 13 Larvelings to 10. Scale that up over the many weapons and valence fusions, and that's already a decent time saver. But the real winners are those who usually don't win anything. The 75% mark drops down from 26 runs to between 14 and 15. And the unluckiest person in this set will walk away with what they came for by run 19. Previously, less than 2/3 of everyone would have found their desired weapon in only 19 runs. This is a huge upgrade for Kuva weapon farming. There is one small snag, and it really is only a small one. The process of downing and rejecting a Kuva Larveling is easily done unintentionally, meaning that you can absolutely cause a weapon you later want to farm to go into the reject pile. In the absolute worst case scenario, you may have downed just one Larveling previously, and it turns out that one had the weapon you needed. If that's the case, the maximum number of runs you'll need to do is 37, with an average of only 28. All the while you know you will not be endlessly farming, no matter what. Now there's no way to check which weapons you may have inadvertently rejected though, not even a count if you've lost track through normal gameplay. So once again a little bit, or a lot of it, of math is needed. In the absolute worst case scenario for any combination of prior Larvelings downed, the chance of you finding the weapon you need within so many Larveling runs is this yellow line on the graph. It's less forgiving than the red line because of the potential for having rejected a desired weapon, but this yellow line shows the limit of how bad things can get. All the way at that tip end of the curve is a scenario where you've downed and abandoned one Larveling without knowing what weapon it held, and it turned out to be the one you needed, with the following Larvelings all as useless as they could be. Even in the case of a single blind Larveling kill like that, fewer people will need to do the full 37 runs to get the desired weapon than the number of people who needed to do over 100 runs in the old system. We're talking a 3-fold reduction in time taken for the very unlucky. So far, I've just shown graphs for the Kuva weapons. Doing the same with the Tenet weapons from the Sister of Parvos, we basically see the same results, just with fewer sister candidates required as there are fewer weapons to collect. Again, even in the worst case scenario of downing one sister candidate without realising you'd later want that weapon and getting stiffed by RNG thereafter, it's still a max of 15 runs, which few people will actually have to suffer. Under the old system, 1 in 7 people would still not have the desired weapon after those 15 runs. What's more, if you don't kill a sister candidate unintentionally before beginning to look for your desired weapon, the maximum run count is just 8, with half of everyone being sorted out in only 4 runs. Now I appreciate this system might not be perfect for everyone. There's still a grind and still potential for frustration, but that's part of what comes with any loot-based MMO. It's undeniable, however, that this is a huge change, benefiting everyone except the already really fortunate. Finally then, let's have a look at how many Larvelings or candidates it takes to farm a complete set of Kuva or Tenet weapons. This time, for the ability to actually compute it, I'm taking the assumption that you're not just killing Larvelings and sisters randomly. Here we can see that almost everyone will have an easier time getting a full set of Kuva weapons. Most crucially, the unluckiest individuals will have significantly reduced amounts of farming and frustration. The typical number of Larvelings you need to kill drops down from 63 to 51 for the average player. While in the old system, 1 in 12 people would have needed to down over 100 Larvelings for a full Kuva arsenal, now fewer than 1 in 2.5 million people would need over that 100 Larvelings mark. Likewise again for the Tenet weapons, we see the same shapes take hold. With typical luck, the old value of 19 to 20 sister candidates for a full set has dropped down a little bit to around 16. Looking towards the unlucky side, previously around 1 in 7 people would have needed over 30 runs to get a full Tenet arsenal. Now, only 1 in 81,000 people will need over 30 runs, and no one playing efficiently will need more than 36 candidates to get everything. This is the power of pity systems. The average grind doesn't change too much, and I'm not one of those who'll advocate for having everything served on a silver platter. Instead, it's about putting a limit on how rough things can get so that even in failure, there is progress. Despite the dry moments, you always know that there is a limit to just how far you'll need to go, and I do hope we'll see more of this. Despite this being such a simple looking system from the outside, the probabilities within can be quite something to navigate. Luckily, I've gone and done it for you. If you want to see all the data behind this video, including extra details I've not included, you can find it and previous video data available over on patreon.com/thekengineer, a link for which will be in the video description. You can support the channel and discover more about the math behind this game. In any case, that's all from me for now though, so as always, make enemies, get weapons, and fight well, Tenno.